yeah. It does really get a lot better. Now, this week is World Heart Rhythm Week.
Okay.
And it takes place from June 2nd to June 8th, actually. Namhlanje it's 11th. But we still need to talk about it because I believe we've got some things that we don't know when it comes to the heart and some questions that need to be answered. Sometimes I think for me as well, when my heart acts a little bit weird, I think it's maybe feelings for someone. When it's not, I should actually go see the doctor.
Okay.
So we need to know.
Okay.
That's a good feelings, a heart attack. That's a belly feelings.
You see now. And that time you must go see the doctor because you don't know what's happening to you. Now, it's an annual event aimed at raising awareness about heart rhythm disorders, also known as arrhythmias. These disorders can affect the heart's rhythm, causing it to beat too fast or too slow or irregularly. It is also dedicated to educating the public and healthcare professionals about heart arrhythmias, their symptoms, and the importance of seeking timely medical attention. At the top of mind, Lwanda, as we talk about this topic, what are you thinking about? What is it?
Okay. So do you know the word a cappella?
Yes.
Yeah. So the heart beats in a rhythm.
Oh.
Rhythm.
Okay.
So it's a rhythm. A cappella. A cappella, absence of sound. A rhythm, absence of rhythm. So now it's not the rhythm now anymore.
Okay.
So out of rhythm.
Okay.
Arrhythmia. Yeah, that's the word.
Okay.
And then Mr. Ting, I don't get butterflies. Interesting. Just now. Butterflies, when you see someone, are not a safety feeling. They are your body telling you to beware. I'm going to get hurt here. This guy, this woman is the very thing that I'm afraid of in spouses, in partners.
What?
Yeah. So that's your body saying, hey,
check this out.
Hey, you always get hurt with hot girls. You know, you had a hot girl before and she cheated on you. So that's what you're seeing here. You're like, oh my God.
Another one.
And then your heart is like, goof, 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 and it's like, oh, I think I like it. No, you're interpreting it wrong. Your body's saying,
check coast. Check coast.
Is saving relationships. Yeah, saving people, actually.
Saving hearts and relationships at the same time.
So yes. Arrhythmia, you said, great definition. It is the heart beating out of sync, out of rhythm. And it can be fast, which means we are going to call it a tachycardia because now it better faster than what it should.
Okay.
Or we're going to call it a bradycardia, meaning it is beating slower than it should. And so as unfortunately, you don't just feel that, I think my heart is beating slow.
Yeah.
So sinento kuthiwa ECG machine, electrocardiogram. And uzawubekwa pha ncanyathiselwe ezaa zinto apha esifubeni sike sazibona mos ezaa nto. And then kubekho that beeping machine. Very popular beeping machine. Did it, and it shows those waves. It's a very complex and complicated topic, but very nice because it has so many things in one. Inhlizio, you've seen in the movies, horror movies, takes out the heart. I bob, and it's still beating.
I want to ask myself, what's going on?
That's actually a thing. Did you know that?
Does it really happen?
That's actually a thing. So for you to breathe, your lungs are inflating in, out, but that's controlled by your brain. Interesting enough, your heart controls itself. It has a source of power that transmits electricity right through the heart and makes it beat. Not from the brain. It's just there in the heart. And there's a word for this. So, but you might have heard of someone kuthiwe uzawufaka pacemaker.
Yes.
Because that power source no longer works. So ke kufuneka kufakelwe engenye artificial.
Okay.
But then interesting enough, all of us, we born with it, scenario. And then this sends regular electricity signals through the heart and earbed. Interesting.
Well, that's interesting actually, because am I still breathing then? If the heart is out.
It's a fair question. I want to know as well. It's a fair question.
You're dead.
You're dead now. So somebody has my heart.
Why am I dead if my heart is still alive? It doesn't make sense, guys.
On a technicality, though, you're still alive.
So if
Exactly.
we are talking heart transplants and we take your heart, you are dead, and we put it in someone else, does that person now become LT in someone else's body? Or it's still Lihle with just LT's heart?
It's a fair question.
My mom
like this
actually
question.
watched a movie about that kind of narrative recently. She was like, no, Lisa, you have to watch this film because this guy got that guy's heart. Now that guy is loved by that guy's dog because the dog can actually sense that it's this guy's heart. I'm like, hey, I don't know. I think
We'll
it
have
just
to ask Lwanda.
Exactly. Lwanda, that's a deep question. I think you're going to have to answer it for us because we don't know.
It's philosophy. And the generally accepted answer is that you are your brain. So if you still have your brain, your memories, childhood experiences and everything else, getting someone else's kidney, liver, heart doesn't then make you you don't absorb their characteristics or their memories or behaviors. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
So then you are yourself. You remain
Irrelevant.
yourself.
So I'm not going to listen to what my heart says. I'm going to listen to what my brain says because I am my brain. Lwanda, on the topic of arrhythmia, right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
What medications are commonly prescribed for such things?
She likes this question.
It's not me. It's my producer.
Are medicines available that can treat arrhythmias? Yes. If you are having so it's a vast amount of things that can change the heart rhythm. Obviously the heart is going to beat faster, maybe, this person is maybe you're being asphyxiated. Maybe there's trauma here. This person had a stroke or you're having a heart attack, that kind of thing. So the arrhythmia in a way is not itself the diagnosis. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the arrhythmia is the symptom. That causes this person to have a slow or high heart rate. And then we have to find out and then we will know what the slow or high heart rate means. Can we explain it? This high heart rate is just caused by okay. So someone comes in and is like, yay, I have palpitations, and then we need to understand that, and then we can give beta blockers.
Okay.
I've got the slow heart rate. I don't know what it is, and I feel tired. So maybe let's go into the function of the heart.
Yeah.
You have blood that is circulating throughout your body. The heart is divided into 4 chambers.
Okay.
2 on the right, 2 on the left. The ones on the right, the blood comes in from the body. The atrium pumps the blood to the heart, to the lungs, sorry. The blood gets cleaned, comes back, it's got oxygen, comes back into your left ventricles, and then back into your body. It's that cycle.
Okay.
Right? Science has gone to the extent of measuring just how big those chambers are. Right? We can say 4 chambers, So how much blood actually goes in per unit time and how much blood comes out?
Okay.
And that is then called a stroke volume. So with each heartbeat, goof, goof, the heart is supposed to pump up about 70 mils. Very specific, right?
Yeah,
Volume.
yeah.
Then that's your stroke volume. So if I na mandla, it's like you're with, then maybe it's pumping out 30, 40 mils. That's not going to be enough because all that blood is supposed to have nutrients, oxygen, and energy for all your tissues up in So you're not going to be functioning the way. So we just had comrades now. And what needs to be happening there is that person's heart needs to be sending oxygen and everything else to as a muscle zomzimba for that 90 kilometers so that umntazokwazi bana abe kanti uyafunction.
Yeah.
So if you're not getting enough, maybe the heart is weak or other, then this becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And then it's like to try and bring up that
your heart rate.
So that you can get a nice strong a nice stroke volume.
Yeah.
Or else we've seen in the movies a defibrillator, very, very popular thing. Charge.
Oh yeah. What's that for?
Another thing. I didn't consider about the heart being a rhythm. Out of rhythm.
Yeah.
Another way to say it is that it is fibrillating.
Fibrillating.
Yeah. And then that thing is called a defibrillator. That thing they use.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I hope I can keep it in my head.
Flexing so hard.
If I can keep it.
Defibrillator.
That's the one. The defibrillator. And you've seen, right? Charge, and then that's just supposed to send some kind of shock and then bring it back to
rhythm.
Why you do it like that? Is it mysteriously bring it back or miraculously? Why that motion of hands?
No, it's not miraculous.
Oh, what is it?
It can't be because kaloku sinombane apha siyayiseta le nto and we're saying see we are pumping that energy signal on the rib cage.
Okay.
That's then going to send kumbane.
You're hoping it's not too much as you defibrillate.
Defibrillate.
You see, I said so.
Yeah.
Are you secretly hoping as a doctor that it's not too much electricity?
Yeah, it can be too much. It can be too much. So lo mntu inhliziyo yakhe iye kubetha, or again it's getting slower and slower. I know it's a save for almost every person at TV, but it doesn't work like that. You use the defibrillator for the cases as Tile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Lwanda, I understand partially, but we're going deeper still in this topic because to save individuals like me who don't run, who don't own those running watches, and who don't know how to use their iPhones. We have them, but we don't know how to use them. But you want to know, what's the minimum heart rate on average? How's my heart supposed to beat like?
About 60 to 95. 99 if we're pushing it. So feet
beats per minute.
Yeah, feet inhliziyo yakhe becomes stronger. So when you run, you build your muscles. If you are lifting ingalo zakho zibankulu, the more you run, the more inhliziyo yakho iba fit. And it can push 70 mils at with minimum intensity, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So if a kabane needs to go goof, I can just go goof, and then it would still be pumping the right amount of blood. My resting heart rate is 90. It's always been.
Okay.
So I remember I was very thin at the time. My second year, it's 70 kgs,
Okay. I won't fire shots at anyone.
You shut your mouth.
And then, it was a physiology prac. We have to slap on some things that are good heart rate. So, like, are you feeling okay? What the hell? Because the heart rate is at a 90, like grand. But then that's just what it is. So, and it's still normal. It's just at the high end of normal.
Okay.
Yeah. So if umuntu siyamfumana resting heart rate yakhe kangabaleke kangathi lo muntu uhleli and the heart rate is like 110, 120, yeah, we're having a problem.
All right. So now, if I need to know whether my heart is okay, does that mean I need to go for like regular tests, heart checkups, like regularly?
Yeah, definitely. Because kaloku ugqirha kufuneka ayazi bana yenziwa yintoni le nto. We always need to have a diagnosis. Remember.
But how will I know? Because you stated that most people don't know when your heart, is beating low or beating high. Most people don't care, to be honest. And it's sad that most people don't care, but they don't. So now, what maybe like near to the end symptoms
what can prompt you to? So it's difficult to miss a tachycardia because ubane palpitations lo mntu, uyayiva naye but yeah, man, ndisoloko ndinombilini.
Okay.
I feel anxious, ingathi ngathi khunto ezakwenzeka njalo, those kind of things. So iyakwazi ujonga uba is it a psychological thing, lo mntu has an anxiety attack, that kind of thing, or is it a heart condition?
Okay.
Where the problem is just your heart. It's not you that has these anxiety attacks.
Okay. And what are some of the ways that you know of that we could take to prevent us from having issues like these?
That can prevent someone from having an arrhythmia.
Yes.
Yo, Alicia. No, I don't know. I don't think I can answer that one.
Really? Okay. I think we should just live healthy then. Yeah.
Yeah, because the causes are different. Umuntu mhlawumbe uzelwe nayo le ngxaki anayo yentliziyo.
Oh.
Maybe it's related to besitshilo sathi they can be related to trauma, they can be related to your diet. It's a vast but I think the point today is that xana kukho into ivayo engathi wrong, hamba iya kwagqirha, get tested, and ikhona into enokwazi uba yenziwe.
Okay, and then when something does happen, does that mean we're treating that arithmetic? Okay, excuse me, with
rhythm. Let's call it a rhythm.
A rhythm, yes, easy, very easy for me. Does that mean then when I get the medication, it's all gone, or is something that I'm gonna have to regularly keep on checking, or medication? You're good.
Depending on the diagnosis again. So there are people who are on chronic treatment for arrhythmias.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, the arrhythmia can be an event that occurred, kwasetyenziwa defibrillator, umntu ugrand, it might have been related to a tumor, and yasuswa la tumor, and it was related to cancer. And now la mntu uright.
Yeah, I get it. Well, we're raising awareness on World Heart Rhythm Week for this past weekend. Really, I think the awareness here is to be dedicated to educating the public and healthcare professionals as well about what heart arrhythm is, okay? Because I know from where I come from, it's not like a topic that we occasionally or randomly just go to because, the heart, now we trust God for it. You know what I mean? But we need to be able to go, and also sometimes maybe we're associated with or something, or you're having a bad feeling, whereas maybe it's actually a medical issue that you have to attend. Sure. ASAP, And so please, as you're tuning in right now, make sure that you take care of your heart and you go to the pharmacist, you go to the doctor, go to a healthcare professional as soon as there is something that you feel like is fishy. If you've got palpitations and there's other symptoms that you don't know about, go to the doctor. ASK LWANDA.
So there is something called a fallacy of dichotomy.
Ooh.
Dichotomy is when there are two things that are saying two different things. And we are assuming that only one can exist at a time. So, umntu uthi kuwe uba nombilini, unezihlwele, unakanye unabantu abadala. And then you say, well, maybe that's not a thing. Maybe you just have an arrhythmia. Both can be true.
Okay.
Sifuna ukuyiveza loo nto leyo. So the one does not mean the other does not exist. Abantu abaninzi banayo le nto, and we all have to learn not to do it. Beyonce and Rihanna bangaba. Ronaldo
And
and
Messi.
Messi. Michael Jordan and. It's not either or. It just needs to stop in general.
Okay.
Where we're embracing both things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not black or white. It's us all. Yeah.
Get it.
Songa, we can do it. Yeah.
I get it. Okay. So in some cases, it's actually cultural.
And in some cases, you're having an arrhythmia. In some cases, you can explain it. Yeah. But then we are saying also to the person who is going to say, you must not assume that. You must exclude that it's not a medical thing. No?
Oh.
And Naglomdo, who's going to say it is a medical thing, you must not assume that. Because it might not be medical. It could be a spiritual thing.
Okay.
Sivula ingqondo zabantu apha bobabini asithi kulona ufuna yonke into ibe medical. It's not always medical.
Yeah.
Sithi kulona ufuna yonke into ibe spiritual. The other one also exists.
Yes, I get that. Yeah, that's true. Well, when do we see the doctor? When you don't know what's going on. Thank you so much, Lwanda. Next week, Wednesday, coming in with a different topic altogether. We appreciate your time here, sir.
Thank you for having me. I like being here. Yeah.
It is Alicia Keys on this one. If you'll never see me again. Only the K-Not Breakfast Show. Good morning to you, wherever it is that you're tuning in from this morning. Hopefully, you're having a fantastic morning like we are. We thank Lwanda for his knowledge and his time. And next week it is.